everybody. And today, I'm very happy that Dr. Rifai, former Secretary General UNWTO, and former Secretary General UNWTO, Dr. Francisco Frangeli, they are here to honor his presence. So please, have a good time with him, and you'll be very, very happy to have this opportunity. And I thank Mario Hardy, the CEO of PATA, who insisted to having him here. So he flew in Kazakhstan overnight, and he almost flew in here from Incheon Airport to Gangneung. Please welcome Korea's son, Ban Ki-moon.
Thank you, Ambassador To Young-sim, for your very kind introduction. It's better to be introduced by somebody who does not know. If I am introduced by somebody who knows me well and too close to me, then there may be a question of credibility. There's no way for her but to say something nice about me, but I need to be judged fairly by somebody who may not know. But that's what I have been doing as a Secretary General of the United Nations. Honorable Mario Hardy, CEO, Pacific Asia Travel Association, PATA, Honorable Taleb Rifai, and Honorable Francesco Frangeli, both the former Secretary General of UNWTO, and Sarah Matthew, Honorable Chairperson of this PATA, and Honorable Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism of Jamaica, and Mr. Sharanjit Leyl, producer and presenter, BBC World News, Asia Business Report, and Ambassador again. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure again to welcome you all to this Pyeongchang, where most successful Winter Olympic Games were held during the month of February. But it was not just Winter Olympic Games. Of course, sports has genuinely dynamism to promote reconciliation, peace, and friendship. But that's exactly what happened in this place. We are very proud that that Winter Olympic Games has given strong motivation and passion for both Koreans. But now it's not only in the hands of both Koreans, it's in the hands of whole world's people to see and to seek reconciliation and peace and stability and security on the Korean Peninsula. I'm sure that once the borderline is gone, then you can imagine that how much a rush of tourism may happen particularly in the northern part of Korea. Let's hope for the best again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to speak to you today at this PATA annual summit under the guiding and timely theme, Building Bridges, Connecting People, How Collaboration Creates Opportunities. It's quite timely, and I congratulate Mr. Mario Hardy and all other ministers who have taken time to come to Korea and who have organized this meeting. In fact, I'm standing after a very long trip. It was just, I have been 5 days away from Korea. It's only 2 nights I slept on a hotel bedroom. 3 nights, including tonight, on an airplane. It was 3 consecutive red-eye flights, which brought me here. It's marvelously, miraculously, I have been always traveling within the margin of 10-15 minutes. This time again, I arrived 15 minutes of margin from directly Kazakhstan, Incheon, and then Pyeongchang here. So if there's any some mispronouncement or then please bear with me. So I'm a little bit out of all this balance again. Ladies and gentlemen, so my advice, in fact, you should not plan that kind of a tourism. If any tourism company organizes this kind of a 3 consecutive red-eye tourism, you may lose your business. But for me, it has to do just to make sure that I meet you timely. Again, ladies and gentlemen, during my time as Secretary General of the United Nations, I prided myself on being a committed champion of travel and tourism, recognizing the critical role it plays for global unity, cultural exchanges, and opportunity. The tourism sector serves as an important vehicle for cultural and mutual understanding, peace and reconciliation, and tolerance and mutual respect. And these are all extremely relevant today as we work to stem the alarming rise in racism and xenophobia worldwide. Furthermore, with more than 1 billion people traveling abroad each year, tourism has become a powerful economic sector with even greater potential to contribute to international development and the sustainable advancement of economies, societies, cultures, and environment. Therefore, I'd like to thank the PATA, the Korean Tourism Organization, and Gangwon Province for the special opportunity to speak to you today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, over the past decade, the world has faced many serious challenges. These include the worst financial collapse since the Great Depression in 1929, eruption of conflict and uprisings for freedoms, a record number of people fleeing war, persecution and poverty, and disruptions brought by diseases, disasters, and a rapidly warming planet. Even today, many of you may see an uncertain future brought about by extreme nationalism, isolationist governments, social unrest, and rising inequality. However, at the same time, this is also one of the best times to be alive, and the world is getting better. Today, people are living longer, healthier lives. Children have access to better and quality education, as demonstrated by the staggering rise of literacy rates worldwide. And even with the extraordinary increase of the world population, those living in abject poverty are less than 10%. Even as some fear the rapidly advancing technological changes around us, please know that these changes have only improved our lives for the better. One of the prime examples of this today is that solar power is now cheaper than fossil fuels in some parts of the world. And with the further advances, this cost could decrease even further. Most importantly, technology has been able to bring us closer together. It has offered unparalleled access to the world's information, enable us to share information and knowledge easily, and provides free or inexpensive communications, which allows for greater collaboration across vast distances. During my tenure as Secretary General of the United Nations, I have seen the power of international cooperation and collaboration in tackling the world's most pressing challenges. Throughout those 10 years, I helped the United Nations open its doors wider to civil society and various partners to help us transform the world for the better. Despite the numerous difficulties and turmoil that tested us, together we helped to save lives and protect tens of millions of people, in fact, particularly the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Paris Climate Change Agreement have opened a pathway to a safer, more just, and peaceful world for all of us. During those years, the empowerment of women made great strides. The youth embraced new levels of active leadership and new organizational mindsets took hold. Among so many issues, I paid attention and with a passion were given on climate change, as I said, SDGs, and gender empowerment, particularly how to make sure that women are giving equal opportunities, if not more. Then I was very much encouraged last year that one very prominent women organization in New York has made an award, has created an award taking my name. So there is an award, Ban Ki-moon Award for Gender Empowerment. Last year I went to New York and presented to very proud 3 women, and November this year, I'm going to, October this year, I'm going to New York again to present that award. And I am very proud to have been part of this. Again, ladies and gentlemen, during those years, the empowerment of women made great strides, and the youth embraced new levels of life. That we have to, it may be too early to congratulate, but we have to be proud to continue our efforts. Day by day, step by step, the United Nations, together with our invaluable partners, collaborated to build stronger foundations for both peace and progress. During those 10 years at the United Nations, I witnessed how interconnected we are all together. And I also saw the great potential and positive benefits of being open to new ideas, people, and cultures, as well as the power of extending an open arm and building bridges. When we are together in unison, the opportunities in front of us are simply endless. A perfect example of this is the recent historic Inter-Korean Summit, as I briefly mentioned, with the pledge of a greater communication between the two leaders, between South and North. There is now greater hope for millions of Koreans for a unified and nuclear-free Korean peninsula. And travel and tourism can play an important role in providing an opportunity for prosperity and peace, not only on the Korean peninsula, but around the world. As one of the world's leading employment sectors, tourism provides important livelihood opportunities, helping to alleviate poverty and drive inclusive development. As tourism revolves around encounters between different peoples, the sector can also foster multicultural understanding and raise awareness on the great need to preserve cultural and natural heritage. Tourism must be recognized by all for its unparalleled ability to create cost-effective jobs, promote local culture, and products and champions a conversation and also conservation and sustainable use of marine and terrestrial habitats. As I look around the room today, I am extremely hopeful for the future. Indeed, I see a diverse group of people who have come together to maximize the immense potential of tourism to drive inclusive economic growth, protect the environment, and promote sustainable development. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I will leave you with these final thoughts. As the Secretary General of the United Nations, four principles guided my work. And I believe they can similarly guide you as you work for the responsible development of travel and tourism in the region. The first, that is to set priorities and stay focused on advancing sustainable development, on climate change, on empowering women and youth, and many other issues. The second is, it is never to give up. Keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep working hard until you achieve progress. Third, that is, keep the focus on people, on people's rights and people's dignity. Think about those people who have no voices or who are not able to defend themselves. That's exactly what I have been doing. I have been doing as a voice of voiceless people and defender of defenseless people. Number four, that is, stand up for those who are left behind. Please raise your voices for the dignity of those that cannot. One of the basic principles of the Sustainable Development Goals is to leave no one behind, regardless of whatever political, social, economic status or familial status. We are same human being, and we have to work as the same human being, protect and respect their human rights. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to say, as a personal citizen of my country, Korea now, thank you for coming to Korea during a year of great accomplishment and changes and hope. From hosting the highly successful Winter Olympic Games here in this province and Paralympic Games, Inter-Korean Summit, you are witnessing a new sense of hope for a better future, not only for Koreans, but people around this Northeast Asia and also around the world. So that is why people are so much excited to see the successful summit between the United States and North Korea on June 12th in Singapore. In fact, I just visited 2 days ago. I was in Singapore again. Again, I'm very much grateful for all your coming to Korea. And as a former Secretary General of the United Nations, it was my greatest privilege to have been able to serve the world's people, work with so many distinguished persons, personalities who have been engaged in world tourism, promoting mutual understanding, mutual respect, and also understanding the culture and civilization wherever you may be traveling. And it is important that we make a tangible difference and influence positive change through tourism. It is true that our world faces many challenges, many difficulties. When I assumed my position as a Secretary General, I promised that I would do my best to make this world better. After 10 years of my service, whether I had made that promise accomplished? I'm not quite sure, because the world is still full of conflicts and problems. But I make sure that at least I did my best efforts with a passion and compassion. It is an era of a great opportunity. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us keep making the most of it, and let us work together to make this world better for all, for you particularly, through promoting further tourism around the countries and among the people. And I thank you. 감사합니다.